Welcome, everybody. We're at another episode of The Word with the World. I'm your host, Jason Canion, and I'm here with ZEUS CRUZ. ZEUS, how you feel?
Man, it's all love, man. I mean, it's kind of weird being on this side, because I'm usually on that side. But, it's all good, man. I appreciate, you coming through and hosting. We can kick it, wrap the taste a little bit.
No problem. I'm hosting today.
Yeah, I see that, man. Moving on. Maybe you could be the new host.
Look, we got to talk about the money.
Okay. No doubt.
So, I'm going to get right on into it. You have a lot going on in your book. So, this is what I want to know. What does it mean to express your creativity?
Creativity to me is to show another side of you that people may not be accustomed to. You know what I mean? I just know for myself personally, if I didn't have the means or the outlet to express myself in that kind of way, I probably would drive myself crazy. Because I have like so many thoughts swirling in my head. It's almost like 1,000 voices is going off, and each one trying to dominate each other. Hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. So it's like, I need that means, I need that outlet, like I said, to go ahead and just showcase not just my abilities, but just my thoughts. I feel like you can express yourself, show a little bit of your character by the things that you create. Because I'm not the type of person that'll start a conversation, be engaged with people and such, or just be on that kind of platform. So just using that means of creativity is allowing people to kind of get to know me personally.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of our viewers can relate to that. Mm-hmm. So, you're known to be an author, as everybody can see, and a poet.
A little something.
So, what made you take interest into writing?
It came from an early age. I was always into writing. I was into like drawing and painting and things of that such, sculpting, kind of inventing, putting things together. But writing has always been like that main platform where I feel like I was in my comfort zone. I grew up as an only child, so I didn't have brothers or sisters. I was very close to my cousins, but it's not like I was able to interact with them all the time. So my way of writing allowed me to kind of express myself, allowed me to go into a different world, kind of create these different characters and stories. And it definitely put me in a nice comfort zone where I kind of got to know myself a little bit better. You know what I mean? And then again, going to that last question, allowing the means for me to be creative.
Okay, I like that answer. Now, what is involved in the process of you writing? Favorite book? What's your favorite excerpt?
The process of writing, a lot of people make it very complicated. I know I've helped other people, other aspiring authors and poets try to get their stuff published. And they try to find a way to kind of format their manuscript, not knowing what to say, what to do, how to structure it. It's not really a particular science. It's all dependent on you, especially what type of genre that you're writing. I know for me, though, it usually starts with the concepts. So usually I probably will jot down at least 20 to different concepts. Well, on things that I would like to talk about, different topics that I would like to, elaborate on. From there, I will kind of condense it. And then I kind of layer everything out, not in your traditional sense. I usually just put a lot of words and phrases on the paper. And it ends up becoming like a blueprint, basically like a roadmap on how I'm going to go ahead and structure this particular concept. And then once I start putting everything together, sort of like a puzzle, then it turns into like sentences, into paragraphs, into excerpts, the stanzas if I'm doing poetry. And that's pretty much how I go about things. But again, to each their own. To me, when it comes to writing, especially if you have a passion for it, it shouldn't be that hard for you to, find ways to express yourself. It's your words, it's your thoughts, you know what I mean? So not to be so much cluttered or worried about what other people might think or say about what you write. Just be more concerned with what you're comfortable with. You know what I mean? Especially the topics that you want to write about.
Okay. I'm definitely digging that. Now, you're also a photographer and a music producer. How did you go about that?
Well, I try to be. Like with anything else, but I have a love for electronics. I have a love for media. Definitely have a passion for it. So I always want to kind of like push myself as an artist, as a producer. Like, what are other things I can get myself into and maybe try to get proficient in? I know with music has always been a mainstay. I know you know about it. You know, we used to kick it about in our younger days, using the bare minimums. You know what I mean? And then we kind of progressed to having a studio and actually starting to get some real equipment. Those were the doggy dog days, you know what I mean? But we both had that passion for it, you know what I mean?
Right.
If anything, I'll piggyback off of you a little bit more, because you were more the music guy. You know, I was always the guy, the writer, kind of like the one putting the songs together and stuff like that. And you was the mastermind on just trying to put the production, what would sound good with that. But because of you, I would say that's where my love came from, like just wanting to produce, like take it at another level. Like, don't just be satisfied with just writing. Maybe you want to go ahead and put your hands into producing. And the same thing goes with photography. I didn't really know much about photography either. To me, a picture is a picture, no matter what medium or device that you use. But once you start looking into it, do your research, really start studying it, you start realizing there's a lot more to it. There's definitely a level of professionalism that comes with photography. It's not just clicking a button and just taking a picture, especially if you want to do something elegant and professional, and, you know, especially in a business setting. There's definitely a lot to learn, and I love to learn. I keep my mind open to things, and it's all about just pushing yourself. You know what I mean? Be proficient, trying out new things, and see where it goes.
Okay, I like that. Especially the part that you said that you had the same passion as me. I like that. And the passion is still there, and it grows every day.
No doubt, man. I see how you was doing the beats and stuff. I'm not saying it's like easy to make a beat. You know what I mean? You definitely got to have an ear to it. But I just seen like you had that natural ability. I didn't so much have that. I mean, I love music since an early age. You know how your parents was cooking. They had music playing in the background. You know, you have your functions, your family functions, always music playing. But just to see that you had like that natural ear to knowing what tones and rhythms sound good, and you know, just formatting them to making it a full beat production, musical production. I just figured, like, man, I could do that too, man. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be that hard to get that ear, that music ear, to start putting some things together. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I definitely appreciate that from you, man. Just, you know, being able to piggyback and, you know, pick at your brain a little bit, see what sounds good. You know what I mean? You know, we used to chop it up nice, man.
Remember
those
did.
days, man.
We certainly did. I appreciate it. So let's talk about this Olympian Multimedia. What are the key components to it?
Well, pretty much going with what we've been talking about. I definitely wanted to set up a business where it's like a one-stop shop. You know, you got people who's into photography, you got to go to a photography studio. You try to do music production, you got to go to a music studio, deal with all the different engineers and producers and such. To do videos as well, you got to go to somebody who does that kind of thing, has the ability to do that. I just wanted to make something. Well, first of all, I made Olympian Multimedia to promote myself as an author, to use that as that platform, because I really wanted to kind of make my name for myself in the literary world. So I figured making a business will allow me to do that. But I figured too, talking with different people, you know what I mean, and just kind of filling people out, it's kind of like they wish they had sort of like this one-stop shop. You know what I mean? Where all their multimedia needs were met without having to go to a whole bunch of different people. And this was more my lane anyway, because I love electronics. I love electronics. I love creating. So this was really up my alley to kind of branch out, add the photography part of the business. You know, we have an in-studio with different backdrops, different lightings, props that can be used to set up your photo shoot. We do videos as well. We concentrate more on doing promo videos for your social media sites. So we definitely have the equipment in place to do different types of videos. And then we have a music studio as well. If you're looking to record, or if you're just looking for some type of music production for your musical project, whether it is you're doing an album, maybe just a single, or maybe you just need some music production for your video, Olympian Multimedia can do that as well. We also do graphic design, so we know how to come up with designing logos, album covers, book covers. And obviously, as an author, I want to help people and put them in position where they can like put their literary projects, bring them to life, and help them to get published as well. So we set up services on that route as well to kind of help them out, and as well as do the other things as well, do videos, do photo shoots to help promote them. So Olympian Multimedia is a little bit of everything, you know what I mean, that incorporates the true essence of multimedia.
Okay. You have a one-stop shop.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man. Just a little something, you know what I mean, to just try to, help people. You know, some people have a little bit of a difficulty trying to bring that creative side out. So it's all about outlining, formatting, sitting down, really putting in place the ins and outs exactly of what you're trying to do with your project. You know what I mean? And then, we go from there.
Okay. I can definitely dig that. So out of all that you just named, you got a lot going on. Mm-hmm. What obstacles did you have to overcome?
Obstacles? Well, probably the biggest one is people in general. Just people kind of downgrading you. A lot of negativity starts seeping in. That may not be, the avenue or the direction that you might want to go into. I don't really foresee your business being very successful or fruitful. Just starting the business as a whole, just the fact that just creating enough cap so it allows you to have a space, get the equipment needed. A lot of people think it's just kind of a snap of the fingers to just go ahead and just put a business together. Just because you have a logo and a title to your business with a moniker, it doesn't make it a business. You know what I mean? You really need to know the ins and outs, having a business plan in place, sticking to it. You know what I mean? Expanding your vision. Don't look short term, look long term. What are you trying to fulfill in 6 months to a year? Where do you see your business from 2 to 3 years from now? These are all things that, objectively you should look at when you're trying to start a business. And, or even just trying to be an artist, whether you're trying to be a musical artist, author, whatever you're trying to be. And then I think the last thing when it comes to obstacles is just your self-doubt. Because sometimes a lot of that seeps through. You feel like you put this plan in play, that doesn't work out. You get so overcome by pretty much the demise of your plan. It just didn't work out the way you see fit. You know what I mean? And then you kind of get into this state of limbo, like, I don't know where to go. Everything is just black and white to me now. I don't see anything else. I don't know where to go from here. Or maybe you just doubt yourself just by what you have in play. You know what I mean? You just feel like, man, this is just not going to work. You know what I mean? Instead of just seeing things through and just play your cards and just see what comes of it. You know what I mean? I think people just get too much involved with the whole what ifs, and they get so encompassed with the question marks. You know what I mean? You're not going to have an answer to everything. You know what I mean? But if you are trying to reach an answer, you got to give it a good try. You know what I mean? You got to put your step forward and just say, the hell with it. Let me just try this out. Because that's the beauty of life. It gives you an opportunity to redeem yourself. So if that didn't work out, got the opportunity to do it again. You learn your lessons from there, incorporate that so that you don't make the same mistakes, and you just keep it going.
That is true. All that's true. First, you don't succeed. You keep trying. You keep pushing. You keep elevating yourself. So I definitely can understand that. And I think a lot of us, we all go through that. The self-doubts, the might be too much, not sure if I can do it, the people I thought had my back, they're not backing me up. I mean, it's a lot, but I think a lot of people also go through the same thing. So as far as other creative minds such as yourself, what type of advice would you give them? Who wants to be like ZEUS CRUZ? What would you tell them?
I think the best thing I could say is some people look at their failures or their defeats in life and they don't acknowledge them. They're so quick to kind of like put them on the back burner or put them so far deep in their mind where they don't ever have to acknowledge it or think about it anymore. It's all about, we got to keep the positive energy, And it's like, I'm all with that. You know, staying positive, staying in line and true to your ambition and your goals, always seeing the upside, being optimistic of things is very important. But you can never not acknowledge your defeats and your failures. Doesn't make you less of a person, less of an individual. We live in a negative world. You know, the quickest way to kind of illustrate it is if you get a device with a battery, what does a battery have? A positive and a negative charge. You can't operate that device without that negative charge. It complements the positive. You know what I mean? So when you look at the real world and society and the people that we deal with and the things that you go through, for you to not acknowledge the negative aspects of your life, to me, I feel like you're not being honest with yourself. You're being foolish. You know what I mean? There's no way you can separate the two, no matter what you do in life. You know what I mean? That's why we're imperfect.
Right.
You know, we're not meant to be perfect. It's not meant for everything to go A through C perfectly. There's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be obstacles, and you have to accept them. The thing about it is, a lot of times when we make mistakes, people look at that as a negative thing, but there's actually a positive or a piece of positivity you get out of it. A lot of times when we make mistakes, they actually had good intentions, right? But you executed it wrong. Your execution was way off. But your intentions was pure. It was maybe to help yourself, better yourself. Maybe it was to help the people in your community, the people around you, your family. But you just went about it the wrong way. So it came from a good place. Mm-hmm. You just went about it wrong. So how can I just keep that stored as negative energy? It came from a positive place for me to do it to begin with. So I can't see myself not acknowledging that.
Right.
If anything, keep your mind open and always be ready to learn. Don't ever get to the point where you feel like you know everything, because you don't. You know what I mean? There's always a way to better yourself in your artistry and as you as a person, as an individual. So when you see the bad, you see the defeats, you see the failures, don't just look at it from a negative eye. Look at it like, this is a reason for me to learn. There's a lesson to be learned from this. And to take that and make application of it. Don't just acknowledge that, hey, I made a mistake and I see where I can do better. Because that means nothing if you get to that truth if you don't apply it to yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know you came across a lot of people, probably a lot of people out there, or viewers watching this, that came across people that talk a whole lot of shit about what they want to do with their life, how they can do things better. Mm-hmm. But then you look at the clock, and so much time done passed by, right, and you still see them at point A. There's no progression because you don't make no application of it. So it's great that you learned, but did you really open your mind to really be invested into what you learned? You know what I mean? Just because you have the knowledge of something doesn't mean you know what that means. Right. So that knowledge that you obtain is all well and good, but what are you doing with the knowledge to make yourself better and the people around you. So that would be my advice to people, like the biggest thing. Don't never look at your flaws or your defeats or your failures as exactly what that is. Don't leave it face value. That was a lesson for you to learn so that you can make application to better yourself. You know what I mean? Don't never disregard the negative. Always remember that battery. That battery can't power your device without that negative charge. You need both ions from both charges to make that device work. So please, encompass the negative with the positive. I feel like if you embrace the negative, it's going to make your positive energy more strong. Because you know what not to do the next time.
Couldn't have said it any better. So real quick, there's a few people that might want to know. Are there any upcoming projects that you're doing? What's next for ZEUS CRUZ and Olympian Multimedia?
Well, I do got some fresh things that just came out. So I do have my new book. It's a continuation of my very first book. It's called Thoughts from Olympus ZEUS. It does have some poetry on there, but it's more like essays on thought-provoking ideas and concepts that I came up with. And I just pretty much elaborate on them and give my opinion based on that. I do have a couple things on there that's definitely probably going to blow people's minds. Didn't realize I was even thinking on that kind of level. But this is available now on Amazon, Goodreads, and BarnesandNobles.com. And also, too, I have the new album, instrumental album, through Olympian Multimedia. It's called Phantoms Auditory. Please check this out. It's on all major online musical platforms, YouTube Music, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, whatever you could think of is on there. It has 12 tracks. I definitely think people will enjoy this. It just builds off the very first one that we did, the Soundtrack Chronicles. Definitely storytelling type of music production. And it has different moods on there. I know some people thought a little bit on the first album was a little bit more dark. You know what I mean? This one right here definitely has a lot more flavors on there that I think people will enjoy. As far as in the works, we're obviously continuing A Word with the World video series. Also had the From Point A to B. It's another video series that we're going to be elaborating on. More videos coming out for that. I'm in a joint venture with Triple Black with Sid Rembrandt, in which we're going to be working on a project called A Book of Rhymes, where it's going to be a book comprised of different rhymes that we came up with, again, on different concepts. Sort of similar to a previous book, Project Songbook, which I did with this guy over here, help author it. You know what I mean? So instead of doing songs, they're going to be kind of like raps, different bars that we write on different concepts. And we're going to be doing an adjoining album that goes along with it. We're also doing another video series, more like a documentary. It's called hashtag Artist Apex, where we're going to be doing documenting different artists of different genres and just kind of seeing their progression as they start from nothing and how they're making something out of it, you know what I mean, toward their artistry, you know what I mean. So definitely look out that. We already have the first episode out with Sid Rembrandt. We're going to be including other artists as well. Please check out the YouTube channel. Please subscribe, share with others. It's Olympian Multimedia YouTube channel. Has all the music, all the different type of videos on there. Please check that out. We have the website, www.olympianmultimedia.info. Please check that out. We usually put some new content on there every couple weeks, so definitely check it out. If you're interested in working with us on a project, there's a link on there that you can go to get in contact with us. And I'm also working on a play and a TV series as well. I don't want to get too much on that just know that's in the works as well. Just having some kind of business dealings with that as well, with a couple of different companies. So hopefully that comes into fruition as well. So that's what it's looking like right now, man. And then, you know, whatever this guy comes up with, you know what I'm saying? Might have something in the works with this dude in the near future as well. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
So, good things to come, man.
Appreciate it.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you coming through, hosting, man.
I appreciate it.
Always positive vibes when you come through, man.
Always. To our fans out there, to the world, thank you for listening in. A word with the world. ZEUS CRUZ, Jason Canion, we out.
Peace.